What's up guys, my name's Diachronic, your host here on this Destiny 2 video, and today I'm going to be showing you a very in-depth description of the first part of the raid. That's going to be the bat sections as well as the staff part in front of it. I'm going to be showing you how to do it, the best way to do it. I'll have diagrams showing the kind of movements you're going to have, and it's a little bit complicated. The later parts of the raid are going to be even more complicated, but I gotta say, communication is very key for this. So if you guys are going to be doing this in a raid, make sure you have communication. It is very, very important. If you do end up liking the way that I show you how to do this and my explanation with my diagrams, make sure you leave a like down below so other people can see this too and be able to complete the raid with you guys and make it a lot easier for you to complete the raid in the future with randoms and people on LFG. And of course, share it to your friends. If you're going to be doing this raid, you should be doing it in the same way. Shout out to Fantastical Gamer who allowed me to use his footage. We were actually working together in this video, but I totally messed up my footage, and he was so kind to provide me with his footage as well as future footages and perspectives and all that stuff. So if he does fall in a hole, that's him. So you guys can go over to his channel, check out his link in the description down below. So the first thing you do when you arrive at the castle, you're just going to kind of climb the castle. Should be pretty straightforward. You keep climbing it, going through doors until you reach this big open area. This is going to be the main hub of the entire raid. There's going to be 4 separate little areas with wibbly little staffs on it and doors behind them. These are the different entrances to the 4 different parts of the raid. The first part of the raid is going to be the sun, which is the first item on your left, or the first location on your left. All you have to do is get a bunch of the other staffs, so go to the other 3 symbols, grab their staffs, bring it to that location to open the door behind you. I recommend splitting teams into a home team where we call 4 people, an away team where we have 2 people, and what we have to do is have 4 people. The home team defend the staff location, the away team go over and grab the staffs and bring it to the home team. If you notice on the ground, it'll actually say which symbol you need first, so just go to each of the symbols. Every time you slam a staff, it'll tell you which symbol you need to go to next. So to get each staff, the away team has to go and kill a bunch of enemies around the symbol that was designated, and then a boss will spawn. They have to kill the Centurian boss. Once they kill that boss, then they can grab the staff that he was guarding, bring that staff over to the home team area, and you should be able to slam it into the ground and start the next phase. Once you slam this first staff into this phase area, you're going to have to start watching out for these guys called reclaimers. The whole time there's going to be these guys called reclaimers. These guys will try to reclaim your staff and bring it back to their original location. As soon as they grab it with their hands, it'll just teleport over there, so you need to kill these guys immediately. When you go for the second staff with the away team, there's going to be a bunch of little cyan floating dudes called councilors. These guys appear many times throughout the raid. You're going to have to kill these guys to stop their immunity shields on the reclaimers, otherwise the reclaimers can just walk up and grab the staffs. So you guys have to be looking around. I believe there's a prompt on the bottom left or something like that, and you should be able to go around finding these counselors. They should be somewhere nearby. Kill them, and you should be able to kill the reclaimers. Again, they'll have an immunity shield that you have to get through. As for the away team, it should be the same thing over and over again. You should be able to just kill a bunch of enemies around the area. The boss will spawn. Kill the boss as fast as you can. Grab that staff, bring it back to the location where is the sun for this first one. Slam that staff into the ground, and you of course move on to the third one, which should be pretty much the same as the second one. There'll be counselors, there'll be reclaimers trying to reclaim it. Again, kill that third boss, which the symbol will show on the, every time you slam the staff down, you'll see the new symbol appear. Go to that symbol, kill that boss, get that staff, and put it in the thing. And once you get all 3 of those staffs, the door will open. This applies to every part of the raid. Each one of these 4 doors, like I was saying, was a different side into the raid. Every time you want to move into a different part of the raid, you have to do this staff thing in a different location, and it's going to be pretty much the same thing every time. Once you open this door with the 3rd staff, you'll get a chest. You can only get this chest once. This chest will be the same chest that appears in every single one of these staff things. So if you're doing the second part of the raid and this chest opens, you get nothing. That's because you already got it this time. Now we're going to be entering into the bats area. I know this is kind of complicated considering that was literally just how to start the bats area, but this next part is going to be a little bit more complicated, so make sure you stay tuned and look at this diagram. So in this bats area, there's going to be 5 different platforms with little glowy globs on them. There's going to be 4 around the different corners of the area and 1 in the middle. Now, to get a frame of reference, so you know exactly what I'm talking about, right when you enter the room, there's going to be this gold statue dude standing here. To get a frame of reference, if you look at the first one on your left, that will be bottom left. The one above that, farther from you, is going to be top left. The first one on your right will be bottom right. And of course, the one farther from you above that are going to be top right. And of course, the platform in the middle will be mid. What you have to do in this area is have 4 different people stand in the 4 platforms, the different corners of this area, to start lowering urns into the middle section. So you'll see these chains moving once you initiate it, and these chains will continue to move as you continue to stand on it. The only problem is that you'll only have this psionic protection for a count of 50. You'll see this thing on the bottom left start to go down. Once that reaches 0, then you'll actually start to take damage from the bats area, and you need to refresh it. The place to refresh it is going to be the middle section. So what you have to do is do a certain type of rotation that I'll be explaining a little bit later by grabbing this little glob and returning to a plate and continually getting these globs over and over again. Your entire team needs to continually get these so you can survive the platforms and be able to lower the chain all the way to the bottom. Now, to do this and maximize the amount of time that all 4 platforms have been stand on, you're going to have to follow this strategy. To initially start this event, all you have to do is stand on all 5 platforms, so the 4 around the edges and the middle one. But once you have started it, you do not need to stand on the middle platform anymore, and that's very important because this little glob of protection will spawn there, and you need to cycle people in and out to grab this. This glob only spawns if there's nobody on the plate after a couple of seconds. So what you have to do is have the 4 different people standing on the 4 different platforms on the outside, and then 2 runners. These 2 runners will stand in the middle in the very beginning and then go to their respective side, one on the left and one on the right. Pretty much gonna have the same copy and paste strategy on the left as the right. So you can, I'm just gonna show you guys what's gonna happen on the left, and you can copy and paste the same idea to the right. So once the event starts, the runner is gonna go to one of the 2 platforms on his respective side. For this example, I'm gonna be saying he goes to the top side first. Once he gets to that top side platform, he's going to switch with the guy that's already there. That guy is going to be the new runner. He's going to run towards the center, grab his protection from the middle. Then he's going to go to the other platform, which is going to be the bottom side in this example. Of course, you can do it either direction. He's going to go to that guy's platform and switch with him. He's going to go to the middle and then grab that glob of protection, go to the top and switch with that guy, and you keep on going back and forth, switching with these people until the chain has reached the end, which the chain reaching the end will have a kind of gong sound, as well as these little clamps will appear on the very side of the chain. It'll be very distinct. You should not be able to miss it. And of course, if everyone's standing on those plates, all 4 plates for a really long time, should only take like 3 minutes. It shouldn't be that hard. The biggest part of this is that there's going to be these guys called bathers, the big fat guys that spawn in. They're very tough melee units. I recommend using a sword, a shotgun, or a fusion rifle at all times on this section of the bats to be able to take them down. The titans and the warlocks are also the better ones for this raid, especially this part here. You can just put down a titan shield on top of the button. As soon as the bather comes to melee you, he'll get blinded by the shield area, start to slowly back off, and you'll have more time to heal up and survive. The other guys should be pretty easy, the legionaries, and of course the scions shouldn't be that difficult, and you should be able to kill them off pretty easily. For the most part, try to stay on your button as much as you can, but you can just jump on top of these little platforms or these little posts on the side to avoid the bathers. The warlock also has his little healing field or his damage field that he can put on the ground to make it so a lot easier so he can stand on that button. If you guys are having problems taking down certain enemies, you have to tell the runners to try to stick around for a little bit more, because you have a bit of leeway on how much time you have before your protection runs out. So tell the runner to help you out with your bather when he arrives if you're having trouble with it, and it shouldn't be that much problem. If someone dies during this whole event process, it's not the end of the world. A lot of people accidentally fall in the hole in front of the little chains things. That's actually how you wipe. If you're having a problem and you need to wipe, those holes are going to be there for you guys to kill yourself. But if you're having problems, you have every single person has a revive token. They have 1 revive that each person can do, and it shouldn't be that much problem, especially with the runners keep on going by. You should be able to keep cycling in those revives. But if you're having a lot of death problems, you might want to reconsider doing the raid, because this raid is going to be around 270 to 280 area, where 280 is going to be the boss area. Once the chains have stopped, the big clamp has clamped on all 4 of these chains. Everybody must go to the center area, the center platform. Everyone has to stand on the platform to be able to do damage, and a bunch of different bathers and enemies are going to spawn in this area. What I recommend doing is putting a bunch of different titan shields down, warlock rifts, damaging rifts, healing rifts. Everyone pops their super at the same time. All you have to do is destroy these 3 sets of 3 urns in this area. Shoot all these little purple things. Again, you have to be standing on the middle platform for to be able to do any of that damage. So just shoot this. You should be able to do it in 1 try. Everyone shoots, everyone survives, and of course, if you're accidentally hitting supers into those little ads around, it's fine. You should be able to kill those guys, no problem. And if you're having problems with the ads, try to focus them down a little bit. But again, try to shoot those urns. Once you've destroyed all 9 urns in this area, you will be done with the bats. You'll get the chest that will spawn right there and get your reward. For the most part, we think that the keys are random. We got a drain key on this one, or at least me and Sam did. If you guys get a different key, these keys are used for the special extra chests, you know, the exotic chests throughout the raid we know and love. These are going to be the ones in the bowels of the different areas. There's going to be different areas and ways to enter the bowels. I'm going to do a separate video on this entirely, but you use this for the extra chest. Don't worry about it, just keep it. I personally, and I don't think anybody in my lobby actually received any raid loot from this part. We only received it once we got to the garden. We received a bunch of different raid loot once we got there. And of course, if you guys don't receive it, don't worry. It's not that big of a deal. You'll continue on and be able to get it in the next part. Anyways, that's going to be the video for you guys today. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments down below. And if you found this guide helpful, make sure you leave a like down below so other people can see it. And of course, share it with your friends when you're doing the raid so that they can see how to do it and see the diagram and understand it, because it's a little complicated when you're trying to describe it to somebody in words in English that you don't really understand these words. So a diagram definitely helps. So make sure you take a picture of that, send it to your friends, and have lots of fun. If you guys are just starting this raid, I would say that this is probably the easiest challenge out of the whole raid. Everything gets more difficult, requires more communication, that requires more math. There's actually sections that require you to not shoot the symbol that's being told. So it gets a bit more complicated, more complex. You're gonna have to coordinate and communicate a lot more. So if you guys have a lot of soft-spoken people in the group, you're gonna have to turn them up. You're gonna have to get them to shout. It's gonna get a lot more complicated. So with that, I'm gonna have to leave you guys on this one. Make sure you stay tuned for the next raid part that I'm gonna be posting right after this, which is gonna be the garden sections, which we have a pretty stealthy strategy for that one. Anyways, I've been your host, Iconic, and I'll see you guys on the next one.